Hello, YouTube. Good to see you. It's Sunday, third month, January, February, March 31st. It's a Sunday, and we're really close at 5 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and go live, and here we go. Start the camera, and looky here. Ha ha! I am live. You can see me, and hope I don't break anybody's camera. I'm getting around. Hey, Hoosier, how you doing there, buddy? Good seeing you. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. You want to come up, Hoosier? There's a link if you want to come up, Hoosier. Whoever wants to come up. Got a little chat tonight. I've been doing a lot of research. I'm going to go live for the eclipse. Okay, cool. Very good. That'd be really cool. When is that? The 8th, I think it is, Hoosier. If you'll put me up, I'll put a mark on my calendar. That's a Monday, correct? And if you want me to, I'll come up with you on the 8th. What time? What time would you like me to be there? Yep. Did you get that? Okay. I'm sure you did. Yeah, if you want to come up, that'd be great. Hey, Mr. Hoosier, how you doing, brother?
Hey, guys. Hey, Rocky.
Yeah, you know what? If you want me to come up, I will come up with you on chat. That's the 8th, correct?
Yep, April 8th. I'm going to go live at noon Eastern time.
Noon Eastern
time. A little
time.
early for you.
That'd be like
a little early
9 o'clock my time or so. Is it gonna
yeah,
be? Is it gonna be? Will it be showing about that? I thought that thing didn't start till late at night.
The beginning of the eclipse Eastern time is, I want to say 1:50.
Okay.
And then the actual totality begins. I'll have to double check the times now, but the actual totality begins like a 90 minutes later, an hour and 15 minutes later, something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the actual, when the moon actually begins its eclipse, is like an hour and a half before totality, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm going to come up about an hour prior to the beginning of the eclipse just to get everything set up. Probably won't be spending a whole lot of time in chat because I'll be, with everything going on, and of course we're going to have Mrs. Who and my kids with me, so it's definitely a family event. But I'll definitely have this particular phone right here tuned into the sun with a solar filter on so we can see the eclipse.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'll be there whatever time you want me to be there. I wasn't even thinking because you're so many hours ahead of me. I'm like, man, it's going to be in the afternoon. When you said that, I'm like, what? You're really getting ready for that thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I've picked up the filters, and I already had tripods from my previous years.
Uh-oh. You're going to have to come back in there, Hoosier. That you still got the link out there. B.R. Williams, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hey, Sterling. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Liberty bleeds silver. Here comes Hoosier. He's coming back.
I'm back.
There he is. There he is.
I dropped my phone there.
Yep. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I will be. Just give me a time and I will be there. Liberty Bleed Silver's here. He's. Can you see the chat, Hoosier?
Not yet.
Liberty Bleed Silver says hi, Hoosier.
Hello, Liberty.
Zardoff
Good to
says
see you.
hi.
Good to see everyone coming in. Welcome.
Yep. I guess Sal's still broadcasting over there.
He's trying to get that. He's trying to get that 500 tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to scoot into my time. You know, I talked to him many times about, hey man, respect the times and all going, because he's generally done by 5. But boy, he's really after those likes.
He wants that 500.
Yeah, he sure does.
Shooting for that 5.
I'll be glad to get 50.
Give me a second, Rock. I'll be right back.
All right, go right ahead. Good to have you here, Zardoff. Thank you for coming. Oh, you're watching both of at the same time. Right on, Zardoff. We'll have a pretty good one here. We'll get a few more people in here. And hey, Silver Patriot, thank you for coming, sir. Thank you. If you want to come up, there is the stream, the link up there.
Beautiful day in southern Indiana. I'm out here on the back porch.
It's a beautiful day here in Portland, Oregon, too. It's just absolutely sun shining, and it must be 65 degrees, 70 degrees. It's nice. Hey, Silver Wolverine, thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, Silver Wolverines, Zardos, good to see you. By the way, Zardos, your re-gift of your quarter from last Saturday got awarded last evening to David Air Force vet. So just so you know, there's Zardos.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, that was a bingo round it was the last stacker standing last Saturday that Zardos won, and he gifted that back to the chat or back to the show last evening, and David Air Force vet won that. So just want to let Zardos know I cannot see the chat within StreamYard.
Yeah, Zardo's in the chat. BR Williams is there. Silver Wolverine's there. Silver Patriot. Did we just lost you there, Hoosier? I hope you don't lose the Monday stream like that. There you are. You're back.
I had to go grab my laptop, so I need to look up those times so we know exactly.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll write them down here, so I make sure that I get them written down and get all the information I need. I'll be in there Monday.
Good to see everyone coming in. Smash that thumb for Rocky if you would, please, and thank you.
Yeah, please do hit that thumbs up, buddies.
There's this one site. Oh, what's the name of that site? Javier. Oh, I gotta find it again. I'll find it. There's a site that's I found way back in 2017 during the last total eclipse. Mrs. Hoon actually participated in that one back in 2017. We actually, check this out, Rocky. We actually went to Franklin, Tennessee for that one. This time around, we're going to Franklin, Indiana.
Wow.
The difference of about 4 hours. Franklin, Tennessee is like a little bit under 3 hours from here, and Franklin, Indiana is like an hour and 15 minutes from here. North.
That's not bad. Mm-hmm. Hey, Nickel, good to see you. There's a link up there, Nickel. I was sitting on the tarmac with there was a bunch of us guys out there watching. We all had our sunglasses on so we could watch the eclipse out there, because that one came right over Portland.
Oh, that's right. It came from the northwest. That's right.
Yes, it did. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, right where the two eclipses are intersecting is Carbondale, Illinois. And that place right there where the two eclipses are intersecting will intersect. That's going to be a massive gathering, because just to be able to participate in not only one but two eclipses in a lifetime within the same coordinate That's pretty cool. I mean,
Right,
what's the
right.
chance of that happening in such a short amount of time?
Oh,
That's the
and
fascinating
and
part.
what's because the eclipse that we had lasted 2.5 minutes, and
Yep.
I think this one here is going to last 4.5 or something like that.
In my neck of the
So
woods, it's going to be right over 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Wow, that'll be awesome.
Where's that
That will be
sauce?
awesome. You coming up, Nickel? The link's up there. You see it in the link? I guarantee you, uh, if 79 was down there, he'd be up here in a heartbeat.
Of course.
She'd
It's like
she'd
a
she'd be after.
Nickel's like a lost puppy whenever he sees 79.
Oh, I know. He's in love with her. He loves that 79. He's
Yeah,
not saying a word.
I'll have to find that site, but it's a private website that has you can actually click on the path of totality. It shows you the exact beginning of the when everything begins in your area, and you can track it all the way across the country.
Oh, I'd
Different
love. Yeah, if you could
different
email
times,
that
and
to me, or that would be great.
yeah, as soon as find it, like I said, it's a private site. Like I said, I found this during the last eclipse in 2017.
Right, right, right.
I just saw it just a couple days ago. Now I can't find the damn thing. Good to see everyone coming in.
Yeah, it's slowly trickling in, everybody. We got a few in here. Let me see how many we got. I got to go into YouTube. We got 7 watching. Wow, that's not too many. I'm kind
There
of
it is. There it is.
crushed. I'm
There it is.
crushed.
I found it.
Hey, Craig,
What?
thank you for coming in. Oh,
I
there.
found it. It's actually based out of France.
Oh,
This
France.
website is. Yeah. Let me send this to you really quick, Rock. That way you can post it.
Okay.
Get dialed into the laptop here to your channel really quick here.
Okay.
So I'm using the laptop to look up the information because I'm on the phone for the stream. And I can't see the chat I don't know why I can't see the chat within StreamYard. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, on phones, it don't. Sometimes it won't let you on the
I mean,
stream.
you have an option. You have an option to see the chat. Oh hell! If I press the right button. Hello, everyone.
Oh, you see it now, huh?
Yeah, I see it now. Son of the Silver Stacker and Craig
Hey, son of
Sheldon, good to
Silver
see
Stacker, how you doing? Thank you for
you.
coming.
Nichols, Ardos, BR, good to see you, my friend.
Hey,
Silver
Barbara.
Wolverine, Silver
Thank you
Patriot,
for
good to see
coming.
you up here way up here in Alaska. Liberty, Sterling, good to see everyone out there. Let me send this link to you
out
really
there.
quick here, Rocky.
Do what?
Let me send this link to you really quick here.
Okay. You gonna send it to me by email? Hey,
No, I'm
Tom,
just going.
thanks for coming.
Can I send it to you in the chat? I don't know if I can or not. Probably not. Make me blue really quick, Rocky, and I'll send it to you.
All right.
Okay, email.
Okay, let me see here. Where are you? So you're
Or I
up
can
on
just send
there.
it to you.
I'm trying to find you back in here. I can turn you blue down in the. There you are. Okay. Add as moderator. Okay, you're a moderator.
All right, now I can kick Nickel out like he does 79 days.
I say hi and I get kicked out.
Here, where's that button at? Where's that button at? So I can't kick you out of the stream though. I can't kick you out of the StreamYard. I can kick you out of the chat though.
Yep. How you doing, Nickel?
I'm okay.
There it is.
Did they? They're not putting on the 10 Commandments this year. That's a first, isn't it?
Well, I think they're going to do some kind of LGBT type Queen show up on there instead of 10 Commandments.
So what was Sal talking about where the White House decided to call Easter something diversity?
They call it Transgender Day.
No, it's not on. It's not on this year. Charlton Heston is not on this year.
And you know what? Also, too, Biden told all the kids that were painting the Easter eggs not to do any scenes of godly things, no crosses or anything like that on the eggs.
Okay. Isn't
And
that what
I'm
the
like,
purpose
are
of
you kidding me?
isn't that what the purpose of Easter is to
That's
recognize
what I
that?
thought it was, but that's what he was doing. So
Pretty
yeah,
sure this was the third day of his, and then he resurrected. So I mean, why are they trying to change it?
right. Hey, water possibilities. Thank you for coming in. They're trolling. They're trolling the Titans. Yes, they are. They are
Yeah.
trolling the Titans.
So that website that I sent you, Rocky, and everyone out here in chat wants to check it out. That's actually based out of France, and you can actually zoom
Did
in
you send it
to
to me
your.
on
It was in chat,
email?
no chat.
Oh,
It's in the
chat. I
chat.
wasn't even looking on chat.
Yeah, I put it into the chat.
Let me
So
go back up here.
so if I zoom into Franklin, Indiana, which is where we're going to station ourselves at, hopefully the weather holds up around here locally. The center line of the totality goes right over Franklin, Indiana. And for local times here, the eclipse, when the actual moon actually begins to go in front of the sun, begins at let's see what time. Hang on, I'm too lazy to convert tonight today.
I'm not seeing that link anywhere up in the chat or my email.
All right, I'll send it again here in a second.
Okay.
So the actual beginning of the eclipse in central Indiana begins at 1:50 in the
Okay.
afternoon, Eastern time, obviously.
So 150 your time is you're 2 hours ahead of me. So that's going to be like
Or 3 hours.
11:50. Oh,
3
you're
hours.
3 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be like 10:50 my time.
And then the actual start of totality begins at 3:05. So a little bit afternoon for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the actual maximum eclipse is at 3:07. And then the end of totality begins at 3:09. And then the actual end of the eclipse, when the moon actually moves completely out of the sun disk, ends at
Okay.
4:23.
Okay.
So do the math, but basically I'm going to go on live, not on the Hoosier Stacker channel, but on my other channel called Look Who's Talking. That's actually my Yak. I call it the Yak channel.
Oh, the Yak channel. Okay.
Yeah, because it's not specified to any particular niche. It's not precious metals. It's not emergency preparedness. It's not bingo. It's just a Yak channel called Look Who's Talking.
Right.
And that channel, I'm going to go live on that channel for the totality, beginning at noon Eastern time. So I'll have a little bit over an hour, or actually almost 2 hours to set up. So I may change that start time to 1 p.m. just because there's no reason to set for 2 hours out.
Right. Exactly.
So I'll probably start the stream at 1 p.m. instead of noon. For some reason I was thinking the totality began at 12:50, so it's actually not till 1:50. And then again, the whole totality, the actual totality doesn't start until 3:05.
Oh, okay.
So if I because what we could run into is weather may not allow us to see the sun. We may have to go northeast or southwest to get out from underneath the clouds. So we may
Oh,
have to.
okay.
So even though I have it set for 12 o'clock or maybe 1 o'clock, we may not actually go live until closer to totality, just in
Right.
case I have
Right.
to travel one direction or the other. That's the game plan anyway.
Okay.
So 150 is when the moon starts to eclipse the disk. 3:05 is when the star totality begins, which I guess that means basically right after the diamond ring, which is the very last piece of the sun gets blocked, known as the diamond ring. That is basically at 3:05. Total totality is at 3:09. Lasts 4 minutes, by the way, in this area.
And it only lasted 2.5 minutes here in 2017. And you know what? That was really, really something. I had never seen one before. That was the first one. And man, I couldn't believe my eyeballs. It was
So
really
yeah. So let me post that link back in the chat in case it didn't come through. It may have got blocked because I wasn't fully set up as moderator yet.
okay.
See if you see that link now.
There it is, right there. I see it.
So like I said, that link's based out of France. I found this site back in 2017 when I was chasing the last eclipse.
It won't
And,
let me reach it. It don't like me.
Doesn't like France websites.
No, it don't.
Could be.
I'll have
that
to. I'll
will-
have to copy that. Let me get that copied so I can mess around with that, so I can get in there.
So that'll let you dial in, and then so if anyone's up in the area around totality, if you want to drive an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. I know people are driving across country. A lot of your eclipse chasers are going to Western Texas because in April, Western Texas is always typically clear.
Yes, yes. Gosh, that wasn't it. Oh, that thing is giving me issues here. Come on. There it goes. It finally copied. Okay. There it went. Let me make sure I get that thing copied.
So yeah, that's what we're doing next Monday. And then so we do that road trip. We go to do the eclipse Monday, and then Mrs. Sue and I go on vacation to South Carolina the next day for 4 days, 5 days. Take some R&R.
There you go. I don't blame you. I've had too much R&R here lately.
Yeah, I know you have, Rocky. You're ready to get back into it, I know.
Yep. Oh, you ain't lying. I tell you, they won't release me yet, so they just keep messing with me, you know. So, but I know my company. They keep when they gonna release you. They say we need you back. We need you back. So,
yeah. Now I picked up all the necessary protection equipment. So we picked up our solar glasses.
oh, that's good. That's good.
I got multiple pairs of the solar glasses for myself, Mrs. Sue, and the 3 kids. We got the solar filter for the camera. Mrs. Sue's got a really nice Canon camera, so we're going to use that to actually take stills and maybe videos of the eclipse on her camera. And I got filters for our cell phones, so the intent is to go live using using this phone right here to go live using a solar filter during the show.
That's great. Because I mean, that phone's doing a really good job now.
Yeah. Man, once
have you been keeping up with this Baltimore bridge of the Francis Scott Key Bridge coming down?
I mean, everyone's heard about it, but I like to know now. Everyone, well, maybe not everyone knows. I know that you can't turn a ship on a dime.
Exactly.
And if people are thinking, well, why didn't they steer clear? Well, you can't turn a ship on a dime. There is all sorts of mass involved in turning a vessel. And for someone to say, well, why can't they just slow down the ship? Why can't they just, go full reverse? It takes time to slow down that much mass.
It's like a train. You're trying to slow down a train.
I have a feeling it takes longer for a boat to slow down than a train.
I bet it does.
You got no brakes. All you can do is reverse power because you ain't got brakes.
Exactly. And I've watched that night video. I bet I've watched it 25 times or better. And boats have manual rudders. See, I've heard pros and cons on that, Sons of Silver Stacker. And they also supposed to have some type of electrical backup where they can actually steer it and move it and stuff like that. But that's something I couldn't find out. But I did find out some pretty interesting stuff. Did anybody know that the master of
Silver Wolverine?
Yeah, the master of that ship that was in charge of that ship is Ukrainian. Now, did anybody realize that?
Oh, let's get the conspiracy things going
No,
up
he
there.
is. He's actually
No. I'm just talking
Ukrainian.
about, wow, he was probably threatened by his government to do that around type of
Well,
stuff.
you just can't just do it. But he was Ukrainian, and when these ships come out of the port, they have a pilot along with them that are supposed to help them in the channel. They know the channel
Right,
and all this kind of stuff
right,
better. And
right.
and he was on the ship too. So there's so much that I kind of wonder. I had an engineer and me were on the phone last Friday, and I was talking to him that I know, and me and him were watching how that when the actual uh, cargo ship ran into that pylon, and we were watching how that bridge fell. Now
I
I
don't think
want
I
everybody
don't.
to do
I,
I?
I think I think that bridge was kind of a piece of crap. It kind of collapsed pretty quickly. We had barges hit our bridges, and they don't knock our bridges down. Of course, I know that had more weight on it.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
It was loaded, but we don't have that. We have them hit like that here occasionally because the river is high, and then if it's high, you have more current. So
right, right.
they do lose control sometimes and hit, but they've never taken our bridges out. But we have two new bridges, so they're the
Right.
latest thing. So engineers, so
Well, what I'm kind of going as is I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just throwing this out there so you can come into your own conclusions. Uh, and of course, this port and Son of a Silver Stacker's got uh, it's a primary port of over 50% of our wheeled military vehicles to board ships, which it is. There's some actually military ships that are trapped in there right now. And that's like 40% of our uh, Navy fleet to move military personnel around and those ships that are trapped. Now, what I thought was kind of interesting is that port is the number one port of salt and sugar. So if you need sugar and you need salt, you may want to go pick up a bag of it that might last you a little bit before it gets expensive because I got a feeling that it's going to be hard to get sugar and salt in and out of there. Hey, Gold Maple, thank you for coming in. Gold Maple says hi there, Hoosier.
Hey, Maple, good to see you. Welcome. Hello, everyone
Yeah,
out there. Barbara, Son of Silver Stacker, Long Live Coin, everyone.
yeah. That also too. That port is number 2 in coal shipping in and out from different countries. So you take our coal and ship it out of that port, and it goes to different and propane gas. Propane gas or natural gas is shipped out of that port. And so that's kind of stopping that now. And so you're going to see, hey, Stephanie, thank you for coming in. Good seeing you. Thank you coming. No notification. I'm sorry. Uh, the that port is got, it's one of the largest ports that brings cars and car parts into that port. So we could see if they don't open up anything time soon, I'm saying within the next month or so, you may start seeing car parts or any type of part out there, sugar, uh, salt, and all that kind of stuff start drying up at the grocery store.
Someone mentioned that. Someone mentioned at work that this bridge collapse and the closure of that port could actually induce recession more than we already see.
Well, I kind of agree with you. I'm thinking that this could be the black swan event of gold and silver to take off and our economy to start collapsing even worse. This could be the black swan event. I can't. This is my own. I'm just saying that out there. I'm just putting it out there. So it's my own idea. It's really kind of interesting that Ukraine Master was driving that thing, and did anybody realize that the black box on that cargo ship quit recording 2 minutes before it hit the pylon? Did anybody ever know that?
Was it a result of the power outage?
Well, they're not
You would think there'd be some redundancy on something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the black box is got its own power source. And so you kind of wonder, why would it come off? Quit recording 2 minutes before it hit it, and then start recording after it hit it. But anyway, I was talking to this engineer last Friday, and if you're looking at this picture of the ship coming straight in, and it looks like he turns right into the pylon. Doesn't look like he stops. He goes straight forth. Now, if you look to the right of that pylon, if you look to the right, there is another pylon that has a part of the bridge structure on it. Well, the engineer that was looking at that was telling me, he says that thing is falling really strange. Instead of, because this bridge over here, when it hit here, this pylon should have fallen back like this. But if you look at it, it falls like this, like the part of were connected on the other pylon behind it was like blown out, and it was released so it could fall that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so the bridge itself did not fall natural. And
well,
so
hopefully, as Barbara says, there obviously will be an investigation. Hopefully, it is not politically motivated or geopolitical motivated. Hopefully, it was just a simple accident. They lost control of the boat, and by the time they could get around to correcting or steering the boat, it was too late. Hopefully, it was something as simple as that. But yeah, you start hearing about all these stories about what's going on today. You just, you have to question everything these days.
Or he was drunk.
Exactly.
He could have been drunk.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been. I don't know. All I know is there was a port pilot, which is they're supposed to be inside that ship as they're coming away from the port, and he was on there. And the master looked like, to me, when they lost power, they weren't going directly for the pylon, but when they got power back on and they started the engine up, it looked like he turned right into it so he could hit it. You can see black smoke bellowing out of the
and there's another thing to consider too. Maybe it was the current of the water at the time could have steered it too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of information that's going to have to be ingested and dissected.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there for you things to look at, because I'm not saying it was deliberately done. I'm not saying anything like that, but it sure is kind of strange, So
I mean, if this master, if he's been up and down that path many times in the past, then you have to come, that comes into question. If he's done this so many times, why did he go off course this time around?
See, that's what I'm wondering. And as slow as they were, why wasn't there tugs on each side of him? I mean,
yeah, well, I don't know. Can a tug actually move a barge of that size?
Yeah, because they generally kind of help them control their way in and out. and
I think it
direct
take
them.
two. I think it take two.
Right, yeah, that's right, Nickel. And but they didn't have any tugs, and so there's a lot of questions being thrown up. Uh, yeah, that's right, Steve, because it looked like they were trying to start the engines up, and after they got them started and the lights came back on, the ship, instead of turning away from the actual uh, pylon, they turned right into it. Because I've watched that in slow motion, and I've recorded. There's a lot of stuff on that one. I'd be like, you know what? That could be the black swan that's going to throw this country in a tizzy. So that's just my own guesswork, So I know I'm the doom and gloom guy, but I just throwing it out there, because if you don't throw it out there, people will not look at it or even think about it.
Yeah, like I said, it makes you wonder if that whoever was steering the ship at that time, if they, I'm sure that's not their first rodeo. So why did they go off course? Of course, they're going to blame the fact it was dark. But if you've done it as many times as you have, you sort of get a good sense of your surroundings, even though you're in the dark, because you're just that's what you're used to doing day in, day
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
And for him to be so far off course to where he's going right towards the pylon, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why there's got to be lots of investigation. Was the ocean current a factor? Was it? It could have been a wind, because those barges are like a big old sail when they have that much stuff on them. Could have been the wind.
yeah,
Could have
yeah.
been.
It could have been wind
Could have been
pushing it into
sabotage.
it.
Could have been eco-terrorism or whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
possibly. But it's going to take a while for them to figure out all the details. And
I don't
hopefully it's
disagree with you. I'm just throwing this
impartial
stuff
and
out there
unbiased.
exactly. And the only thing what I saw is I've watched that one pylon on the right side of where the boat hit. That thing fell forward backwards instead of falling forward. It should have fell toward the boat, but it fell backwards, like the actual bridge behind it was blown up. I think it was blown up, and that's why the actual black box is turned off, because you can't hear the explosives going off. And
Could you
that
imagine? Could you imagine if this occurred during rush hour?
oh lordy, yes, that
Yeah.
would have been a big disaster.
I tell you what, though, I think once they get that bridge rebuilt and vessel traffic starts moving again, I bet there's mandates where vessels of over a certain tonnage won't be allowed to go into that harbor unless it's like the middle of the nighttime. So if something like this happens again, it's going to be in the middle of nighttime when there's no rush hour traffic.
Yep, exactly.
I bet they restrict the flow to within overnight hours just to minimize any risk of
Yep.
death.
They could shut it down, the bridge down to certain hours where nobody can go across it at
Yeah, I go
certain
that way
hours.
too. Yeah. Yep.
And that way nobody would be, if it happened or fall in against something like that it would eliminate anybody coming falling in with it. But yeah, that's definitely yeah, that's right, son of a silver stacker, unless it's a Navy ship, and then they would not be underneath the maritime rules as far as Navy stuff. Yeah,
Right.
because
Is there military presence up inside that bay?
yes, there's two military ships, which is 40% of moving our troops in and out of the United States, and that's what those two
So
ships.
that could be another line of conspiracy that they're trying to cut off.
Exactly. So that's kind of what I've been watching. The coal, it's a second largest coal port of taking coal and propane, natural gas, and stuff through that port, and it's all shut down. It all depends on how quick they get it open.
Right.
If they get it open pretty fast, then I'm thinking they're not really sitting on it. But it took them 3 days to get out there for the NTSB, the same ones that do airplane crashes. And normally, if there's something like that happen on an airplane, they're there right, a few hours after it happens. But that was 3 days after this happened before they got there. So that I was thinking they really, really
Yeah, that's probably a bigger question there, Jeff Nelson, is where were the tugs, that you normally see tugs.
yeah. You see, that's another thing. Yeah, because there wasn't
I
any
don't
tugs
I don't
there, and
recall
I'm kind
seeing
of
tugs. I
yeah.
haven't seen the full footage though, but the footage that I have seen doesn't show any indication of tugs in the area at the time.
Exactly, exactly.
Nico, did you see tugs before or after, or have you seen a lot more footage involved?
Nope. Every piece of footage I see is the same piece of footage of the front. Now there was one that I saw that had the extra building or the extra pylon that on the other side, and I saw one footage and they took it down because I swear I watched it in slow motion and it looked like it had a bright light come up on that part, and that's when that bridge fell the wrong way. And that's what kind of that ain't me and that engineer saw that Friday, but that piece of clip is gone. You can't find it
Hmm.
anywhere. So
All right.
if you get a picture of that bridge without those two major pylons, it's got the other one on the right side. Look at it as it's falling. You'll see a bright light come up on that one, and
See, they,
so
you see, they were saying the same thing about 9/11, that there were explosions in the basement prior to the planes hitting too. They
yeah.
also
See,
they also claimed that the explosion that occurred prior to 9/11 was just preemptive to weakening the structure for the actual 9/11 event too.
see, I've seen pictures of how that building came down, and you can actually see where the building, as it's coming down, you can see them actually blowing out. And
Well,
those
I mean,
were,
you're going to see that when you have all that pressure and all that air pressure inside the house or inside the building that's coming
yeah,
down. You're going to
yep,
see that type of explosion coming down.
right,
All the air
right,
pressure going out the
yeah,
windows.
because it looks like it was imploding from the inside out and just coming straight down. Now,
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that, but I'm not an engineer either.
right, well, there's some things that on 9/11, like Building 7 going down on its own. And when that went down on its own, that kind of threw up a red flag. And then uh, if you ever get to see most of the pictures of the plane that hit the Pentagon, look for the tail section of this plane. You can't find it anywhere. Now, I've seen planes that have exploded and hit things and stuff like that. The tail section is the strongest piece, and there's always a piece of the tail section laying around. And you won't see that around the Pentagon building. And
Hmm.
that's all those pictures are gone. You can't find those anywhere. But I think what took the Pentagon out is a cruise missile. That's my own personal opinion. You
Think
know,
so too.
you think so too, Nickel?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think there. I
I
guess
thought
there was.
they
I
had
guess there was a
I thought
general
they
they didn't
had
need to live any longer.
I thought they had aircraft footage or radar footage of the actual aircraft going towards. I know they're not going to have it going into the Pentagon, but they should have radar footage of an actual aircraft going towards the Pentagon. Now, unless that
They did
aircraft had a missile attached to it,
well,
it's it's its own missile.
exactly. Well, it just the way the it hit and the wreckage. I mean, the wings hardly anything. There wasn't that much wreckage from an airplane that was left in the Pentagon. If you ever get a chance to see that, look for the wreckage, tail section, wings, pieces of the wings, and everything like that. There wasn't hardly anything there, and so I just yeah, that's I got to feel but that's my opinion, and that and $1 will get you a cup of coffee. Hey Dale,
Well,
how you
Well, Bill,
doing? Good seeing you. Thank you for
Bill,
coming.
Building 7 was definitely an inside job. There was no reason for it. It wasn't really a damage. So it had to be they did it for some reason. I don't know what for sure.
Right.
Unfortunately, we will never know the true answers because they don't want us to know the true answer. And
No.
unfortunately, we will never be the same again going forward. And anything that happens that looks anything remotely suspicious will always be played into question. So it is what it is these days.
Yep. And if you get too close to it, you may end up getting Clintonized. So the Clintonized is, you don't want to be Clintonized.
Yeah, I do question one, where were the tugs that you normally see pushing boats in and out of a short water area?
Yep.
And two, if this person steering the boat has been up and down this path, this water path multiple times, why was the path different this time than in the past? So
Yeah,
again,
see, there's some things
you just have when you're even in the nighttime, if you're in darkness, if you've been up and down that path, you have visual clues. You have visual cues that you're like, okay, I'm here and I'm here, even though you might still be in the dark.
right.
So
Exactly.
unless that person steering that boat was not experienced enough to understand their surroundings at the time, there should have been visual clues along the banks that would say, okay, something doesn't look right here, it doesn't look right here. So
Right.
yeah, there's
Well, that's
a
why
lot of
they have a
questions.
pilot. That's why they have a pilot on that boat. Hey, Red
Yeah,
Crawler,
the
thank
pilot
you.
should be able to tell you that too.
Yeah, see, the pilot should have, he knows that port better than anybody. And the CEO of the shipping company just happened to drown in a car a week prior. Yeah, that's true, Red Crawler. Yes, that's true. Just like the guy that the Boeing whistleblower. He he before he was talking to Congress and stuff like that, and he just couldn't take it, and that guy was put down. So he I guess he was supposedly killed himself, is what they say. So, but yeah, that he was a whistleblower, so that's he didn't get to whistle too much, and they got rid of him. So that's shame that that was done that way, but it is what it is. So
Yeah,
does anybody else
most
want to come up?
the most common phrase I used to use at work and that law office at work uses is, we don't believe in coincidences.
You know what? I am so with you there, Hoosier.
So
I
yeah,
am
I
with
mean, obviously there's going to be some serious changes in maritime requirements going in and out of that harbor, especially with military presence within the harbor now that the bridge is down. So yeah,
right.
of course it goes back to should have, could have, would have situation there.
Yep,
Should have done
exactly.
this, should have done that before the bridge was taken out. And
Well,
Plus the
the
rumble.
reason why they really took that thing down, all the illegals were walking across that bridge to get in the United States, and they stopped it.
How about all the
they were
wrongful deaths? All the people that were on the bridge and they're in their car and they're dead. Somebody's gonna have to be paying something out for that.
do we have a count? The last I heard was 2 dead, 4 unaccounted for, last I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, they got the thing shut down, and the people were not on that bridge. There wasn't that many people that were on the bridge. The people that are missing are the ones that were actually working on the bridge, because you can see at the very top, they are actually working on the bridge. You can see all their yellow lights and stuff flashing. So they were up on the bridge. So that was that. I mean, it's sad that it happened, but you can't definitely, it is what it is. And so it just like all I can do is put out there what I've seen and talk to people, and we'll see what finally comes up with it. We'll see if they can get a if they can get a area open like in that deep channel right there in the center. If they can get that bridge out of there, they had 4 cranes in there today. I was looking at. They got 4
Right.
cranes in there trying to cut it apart and get it out of there. So we'll see how long it takes to get it out of there. I'm sure it'll take a month or so. That's a lot of steel be moving around down there.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least our bridges are made pretty well, I think. They can ask that truck driver that was hanging on over the edge. So ours is made pretty well, I think. And I bet you she didn't move an inch. I bet you still as she's ever been.
Yeah, she's probably like, don't breathe. Don't breathe.
Yeah, they probably come down and say, just don't move. She's probably like this all together going, who's he kidding?
Exactly. I tell you, well, that bridge was built in 1977. And they I'm kind of thinking, why would you rebuild a whole port, spend all that money, and not put some type of deflectors in front of those main bridge supports? There was nothing in the way to deflect a ship from hitting it, where most ports have stuff in the way for the ships. If they hit it, they'll deflect away from the.
And you would think that would be more precedent, considering it's hosting naval operations.
Right. So that there's a lot of interesting questions why they didn't do that, and so.
But the thing of it is,
they shut down that. They probably shut down that bridge whenever they have to make a planned route for the president. They shut down that bridge, so no vessel is anywhere near that bridge when
it. You know it.
But the today you got probably bigger barges, heavier ones that's got more stuff on it. That's like trains. Look how long these trains are today. I mean, they try to take everything at once. Yeah. Sometimes it's different. It's different than then. So.
That's very true.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to take. I mean, Biden says we're going to get it back up and going within such and such time. Wishful thinking. From an engineering standpoint, it's going to take a couple of years.
I want to see how quick they can get the debris out.
Now that I think about it, remember when the double-decker collapsed up in Twin Cities, Minnesota?
Yeah.
They had that bridge up and going within, I want to say within a year.
Oh,
one that collapsed and took out some life, and it was
right.
They had that bridge up and going within a year. So, knowing that this particular bridge is impeding maritime vessel traffic globally, I would think there'd be more emphasis on getting that bridge up and going and getting that waterway open up once again. More importantly than Twin Cities, Minnesota. But yeah, the one up in Twin Cities only took them I want to say less than a year, which I figured it'd be a couple of years anyway. But it only took them less than a year to reopen up that bridge in Minnesota.
Right. Because I'm thinking it'll take them at least a month to clear the steel out where they can get a ship through there. Once they can get ships through there, then they can kind of the pressure be kind of off once they get that main channel cleared out where they could get the steel and stuff like that. And then they can start actually moving stuff in and out. But that's the main thing. We'll see how long
we were talking about at work about this, and lack of deflectors in front of that bridge on either side. They can use the pylon that took out the ship today as the first deflector.
Yeah, they sure the heck could. Yeah,
build new pylons behind it and build a bridge on the new pylons, and then they use the old pylons as the deflector.
Yep, they sure the heck
at least for one way, anyway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop here. Rocky, we will see you next week. Like I said,
I will be with you on your stream with that, and I'll be there. You say about 1:30 your time?
I'm going to firm that up because looking at that website I just reposted on the chat there just now. For Central Indiana, the beginning of the eclipse begins at 1:50. So I'll probably wait until 1 o'clock Eastern time. So that'd be 10 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just
I'm at,
send me an email or something like that. Also, I think I'll email you your my phone number. That way you can just call me.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that way
And
you'll
then
be able to get a hold of me.
and again, depending on the weather, we may end up going to Franklin, Indiana. But depending on the weather, we may have to go either northeast or southwest along the totality path just to find some clear sky. But we'll see. We'll plan
Yeah, there you
accordingly,
go.
and I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, and do
And
that. We'll,
Nickel, were you planning on going north a little bit? I know Penny Pincher said that he was going to go north a little bit.
Nope.
Were you going
you're gonna
to be participating?
Nope.
are
Uh,
you going to stay at your house, Nickel?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get into all this stuff. I'm not a astronomical kind of a guy.
I
yeah,
tell you what, Nickel, it's something that you want to see at least once in your lifetime. The 2017 that I saw here, the 2017, the one that I saw here uh, in Portland. I mean, I sat out there on the tarmac and watched that thing, and it was only 2.5 minutes long, but that was pretty amazing to watch that. I think you ought to at least get you some glasses and watch it, you know, because it's only like 4.5 minutes for you.
it's going to be well, where we are at there, Rocky. We're probably going to be at either 98 or 99% because we're just immediately south of the path of totality. So, we're looking at easily 98, 99%. So yeah, you're going to have sunglasses or the solar glasses for even 98, 99%. But that's, they say that the 1% makes all the difference between, having totality and not having totality. Makes that 1% makes a whole world of difference. So
Right,
if
right,
you
right.
if you get up, Nickel, if you just get as far north as say Seymour, or maybe not even Seymour, if you get as far north as Henryville, you're inside totality.
That'd be fun to watch. I tell you, that would be great.
So I put into the chat the channel that will be hosting the totality video on April
Okay,
8th.
got it.
So that's going to be that's the Yak channel for anyone who wants to hang out on April 8th for the totality viewing of the solar eclipse from Franklin, Indiana, or wherever we end up going by the time the weather cooperates. We'll find out soon enough. Hope to see y'all there. I'm gonna go ahead and drop Rocky.
All right.
Nickel,
Well, thank you for coming. It's been great, and thank you. I'll see you Monday.
All right, Nickel, we'll see you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. That was good info. Do you have any input on that the bridge?
No, I just don't think it was made that well. And, a lot of bridges need to be replaced. We're not keeping up with infrastructure. So it
I
probably
agree.
probably need to be worked on anyway, because it probably don't tell how bad a shape it was in.
Right,
And
right.
so it's the same with roads. Our roads are terrible. We got 5 different tire stores here. I believe it.
Yeah, I agree with you because the same thing here where I live. The infrastructure of the roads are just getting so tore up. They don't take care of them. They're just pissing the money away.
You're right. They're using it for other things. And, let's go back to gravel roads if we're going to do that.
Exactly.
You don't have to do much with those. And if you're going to do roads, why not put a heating system underneath it so when you have freezing ice or stuff, you could have some type of system of melting it.
Yeah, that would be the ticket right there.
And I know they got the technology today to do it, so I don't know why they don't do it.
Yeah,
Our
red trawlers on that.
railroad tracks are awful. When you go over them, The whole track moves. I'm going, man, I hope no trains are still using this because we're going to have a derailment here. Because, one time they talked about taking the some nuclear waste through here. I'm going, that's all we need
Oh,
right there. And
no.
I guarantee you, it will be a derailment of that stuff. And you have to evacuate probably 100 miles or more if something like that happens.
Evacuate a whole state, that would. Hey, there. Oh, Dale. Here's Dale. I'm sitting there watching. Hey, sorry about that, Dale. I missed you. Dale was coming up and I didn't see him. So let me put that link out there.
Yeah, look, Sterling said that's right. If this captain would have been Russian, oh my gosh, it would have been an act of war. They're trying to take our bridges out.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's something I thought that was quite interesting that the captain, the master, was Ukrainian. I thought that was quite interesting. Sorry about that, Dale. Click back on. There's the link again. Yeah, I mean, when I found that out, I thought, what? He's Ukrainian?
But this is what it also comes down to. It is, let's say China. I'm going to say walks into Taiwan because Taiwan is not going to show any resistance. They have no chance. How are we going to punish China for that? Because we get 90% of our stuff from China. We would definitely have empty shelves if we do anything to China. All they got to do is just say we're not shipping nothing to you. Well, they got us. China's got us by the short hairs.
Well, Nickel, also too, what worries me is Taiwan is a major chip manufacturing country, and they manufacture a lot of chips. So 90%. Can you imagine? Imagine. Now, I don't think Taiwan is not gonna. They're not gonna just fold over and let China take them. They don't like China, so it'll be interesting. Hey, Dale.
How are you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. Feeling pretty good now. I'm getting up and doing different things. And I'm driving. I've been driving for a couple of weeks, and I'm really starting to get back to my old self. So
okay, good. I think you're going to be fine then. I'm glad, Rocky. I had the opportunity to see my son after near 5 years, and so I had a good week too. And I'm back out east.
Well, that's great. Yeah, Sterling says China needs our markets. They would go broke if we stopped buying their crap. That is true, Sterling. We need to do our own stuff.
But who's hurt the worst? United States, when our economy depends on purchasing things. That's what 50-60% of our economy. So we would get killed, and it's who could hold out the longest. And I guarantee you, China has more resources than we do. They have everything you can think of, as far as
Nickel's right. Our economy is debt based.
Yes.
And consumerism.
Yep.
And if we stop buying, it'll hurt the West worse than it'll hurt them. And not to mention the cost of goods. Okay, you can go to Walmart and buy a shirt for $12. Can you imagine buying that same cheap shirt for $37 or $40?
Right.
Yeah, look at inflation then, man. It'll be
yeah. And Jeff Nelson's got India's battling with China also. They're kind of at each other, so it's not good. And then Vietnam is pissed off at China too.
Australia's not exactly in love with them.
Right. So I mean, they're not loved by the world, and so I think if the United States slowly start coming back and start doing their own stuff, and you buy it will make it in the United States, is what Sterling. Yep, I agree with you, Sterling. And we start making everything here in the States again like we used to, it would stop their stuff.
I don't think you're going to get that with Biden, though.
I don't either. You got too many woke people up there that like China. They've been paid off. Well, you know what? It is 5:56, and it's nearly time to shut this thing down. Does anybody have anything they want to say before I get it shut down?
I just wanted to. Did you make the biblical connection between the eclipse?
I have not. I have not.
There's it. Okay, it's forming an X, which in the Hebrew is the Tav, and it's actually a cycle that's over 17,000 some odd years. That anything has ever crossed North America as such. But the part that really makes me wonder, it's crossing every city name. It starts in Jonah, Texas, which is from Jonah and the whale, and it crosses every city named Nineveh in North America. There's 8 of them. 7 are in the U.S. and 1 is in Nova Scotia, Canada.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's that it has a biblical connection as far as I'm concerned. So don't look up, Nickel. If you said you're not going to watch it, that's good. Maybe don't look up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hmm.
That
Yeah, like Goat 6 is talking about. Yeah, we're supposed to consider Taiwan China. And usually when they address it, they say Taiwan, then they have China in parentheses. So it's still considered China. When we're supposed to acknowledge that. So
I call it Taiwan. If it's made in Taiwan, it's Taiwan. If it's made in China, I don't want it. You know, a lot of your computer chips are made in Taiwan too, and so there's and I think they're getting away from China's Chinese made chip because they're having all the problems. Just like they were talking about the actual in a Baltimore Port with those cranes out there, they're saying that those cranes have radio frequencies that the Chinese can communicate with. So they're thinking maybe that might be part of the problem. So
Backdoor chips.
yep, exactly.
And the Taiwanese, they earned an ISO standard. They don't just build better; they earned it. They
Yes.
have the education and the certification, which is second to none, really, to North America or some of the European Union countries. So
Right.
they're good at what they do. It's like when they started shipping Hyundai cars into America, they were junk, but they slowly but surely met the ISO standards and then worked with the automotive businesses in the U.S. with Ford, GM, the big 3.
Yep.
And they start building good cars. Now they've got cars on the road that are, going 300,000 miles.
Yeah, they've got pretty good cars now because when they first started manufacturing their cars, they had like a 10-year warranty on their cars.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's 6:00. It's time to say goodnight.
we better say hi to Sterling. He came up.
I was just going to say, Sterling, did you have something to say?
Yeah.
Okay, come on up.
Happy Resurrection Day, everybody.
Well, thank you.
Awesome, Sterling.
He is risen.
Do what?
Yeah.
He is risen.
Yes, he has. Yes,
Yes,
he
sir.
has.
Hey, Sterling, what's your thoughts on the eclipse crossing all of the cities or towns of Nineveh?
I think it's interesting peripheral stuff, and it could have biblical implications. I don't, I've been through a number of eclipses in my life, partial ones, full ones, blah, blah, blah. And the one thing I learned was not to look at it.
Hey,
You know, but from the time I was in middle school, the one that came through when I was in middle school, at that time I started hearing people say it's the end of the world, and every other one that since, people, you'd hear some people saying it.
yeah,
The fact that it's an eclipse doesn't make me think that at all. The fact that they're running CERN that very same day, the fact that
concerns me.
it had a sister eclipse 7 years ago that crossed, and makes an X over Little Egypt. The fact that the very center of the crossing is on a road in a park that is named Siloam. There are a lot of interesting things with it, but
It may just be a symbol.
that,
It might be a sign. I think, Sterling,
all
a
of that,
sign for change. That's my belief.
it very well could be, but all of this other stuff that we're talking about is man-made stuff. It's not the eclipse itself, with the exception of the fact that it had a sister eclipse, and there is also a comet that is going to cross that those paths that makes it form an A, and that goes right over the New Madrid fault area, in the area that the space in the center of that A. So I mean, there is a lot of stuff that makes me go.
There's a lot. Then that's a lot. What you just stated right there. That there's something could go down. I hope it's a symbol for positive change.
Yeah, that would be good.
I would take it more as the sign of Jonah than anything. And I mean,
Right.
you got 40 days to repent.
Right.
And so,
Well, I keep myself repented. So you might be right. You may be right for the others. Yeah.
But I hope that a lot of people, at least one goes down on their knees and repents.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we need some more good in this world. I agree, Sterling, that people could get prayed up and try to be more positive and do things positive for their communities. And
yep, that's
there's been a lot of darkness.
Well, I would like to share one little positive thing with y'all this evening. I did share it on Ida's channel on Friday a little bit. I know a little bit more now, but it's a very personal thing. I have a daughter who has been living overseas for the last dozen years, 6 years in Hawaii and then 6 years in Okinawa. On Friday, I'm in Okinawa, she accepted a position. Right. Well, let me go back. For the last 6 years in Okinawa, she has worked with the suicide prevention program for the U.S. Marines. For the last 4 years, she has been the head of that program.
Wow.
The U.S. Army does not have a program, but they have to have one by decree of the Senate and Congress. She accepted the job of the Pacific Rim head of the program, suicide prevention program, and she actually gets to set up the program that they don't have. She gets to write the ad to hire her own lieutenant. But right now she's on an airplane heading from Okinawa to Quantico. So she's got a meeting in Quantico on Tuesday that she's trying to get to. But my baby is going to be in driving distance from me. It'll be a 3-day drive, but I'll be able to drive to go visit them.
Good for you, Sterling.
I'm very happy for you.
And I mean, she's doing. I don't know how well suicide prevention programs work, but I think it's important that we have one for these young people that are put in traumatic situations.
I agree, my friend. I hope you have a great reunite with her. I had similar with my son, and it feels good. It renews you. It gets you. Gives you hope again as a father. And
I'm
yeah, I
looking
hope you
forward
get
to
the
the
same.
road trips across the northern plains.
That's awesome, Sterling. I'm very happy for you. That is great. That is great.
It's
Well, is there anything else that anybody wants to say before I shut this thing down? It's we're past 6 o'clock, and
Yeah,
and
eat more steak, Rocky. That's all I'm going to tell you. Eat more
I
steak.
I have some steak that I
Hey,
cooked.
Rocky.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to add on to what Dale said there a little bit. I went on a diet a year ago. It's not totally carnivore. It's not totally paleo, but it's kind of a combination of the two. I've got to have some carbs to get satiated, but a whole 50% of my calories come from animal fat. The other 50% basically come from eating meat.
Good for you.
Good.
I've
That's
lost
good.
in a year. I've lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
Skin conditions have cleared up, and my energy levels have gone through the roof.
Well, see
Good for you, Sterling.
what I'm doing right now, Sterling, is meat, and I'm eating fresh poultry. And like in the morning time, I have fresh eggs that are given to me by a friend of mine that he's raising them, and I give myself a 3 egg omelet, and it's just delicious. So
You'll
that
heal faster. You'll heal much faster, Rocky.
yeah, yes,
One thing that I have found is chicken does not satiate me in the morning. I have to have red meat in the morning.
that's exactly what I've been doing. Is I've been doing the old steak thing. So I love steak. So
I mean, I eat chicken. I eat chicken every day. I have chicken in my salad for dinner.
Good.
Yep.
But for breakfast, I've got to have red meat.
yeah,
Everyone's different. Everyone's a little different. Not everyone could adopt such a diet, but I believe it's the proper human diet, uh, proteins and fats, and it's important to keep your fats up because fats, I've learned, don't make you fat. They
No.
make you slim.
Well,
You know, I'm similar to Sterling. I'm losing weight now I'd say I'm losing approximately a pound a week, very steady.
I'm probably
Since
still
I got my
losing a
PSA
little.
numbers were out of whack. They're
did you
back in
see
order.
I've got
Dale,
loose
did you
skin
see
and
my
stuff like
face?
that, and it's going away slowly. So I'm still
Yeah,
losing. I'll probably lose another 10 pounds before I level out. But it
that,
might take me another year to lose that last 10 pounds. Just
It
because
took us a few years to gain it, Sterling?
yeah.
but
All right,
I
guys. Well,
have found that I cannot eat any kind of grains. Stay away from the seed oils,
yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Seed oils
I
are
use
not good.
olive oil when I cook, and
I use
no salt,
lard. In fact,
lard.
I use
Oh,
lard.
I like olive oil. So, well,
A
anyway,
little of that's okay.
79. Good to see you. I'm
Hey
gonna shut
Terry, how
this
you doing,
down.
darling?
Y'all take care, and I will shut this thing down, and we will see you next Sunday. And I'll have some more interesting stuff to talk about. So,
Hey Rocky,
yes,
give
sir.
me a call tomorrow, and I'll get you some dietary information that you can do some research on and work out what is going to be best for you.
Sounds great. I'm all for it. I'll give you a call. We will talk at you, and y'all
All
take
righty.
care. And good night. And we're going to end this stream. And good night. And
Have a
thank you
blessed
for
day,
coming.
everybody.